might be me on the tether there, Dan.
No, that was me.
So, Steve, here's actually another question from chat. If two corals are growing next to each other, do they ever get interlinked, or do they somehow stop and avoid growing to avoid going over each other?
Where'd he go?
So it depends. Corals can be either very territorial, and in the case of some shallow water reef building species. However, there are some species that of sea fans that can actually join together. It's a pretty unique process. Not all species display it. But it's called anastomosis. It's where two branches from separate colonies or even from one colony might fuse and create one branch, for example.
Come down a little bit. You're pulling up.
It's actually incredibly useful and diagnostic in some species.
And you said Metallagorgia for the note, right?
Yeah, there was a Metallagorgia way down deeper, yeah. So there's a fair, healthy diversity at this one rock.
Is that good enough zoom there, Steve?
Nope.
Do you want to
Give me the best you can. More. How's that? Is that it?
Is this calcified over, or are those polyps is closed?
Full zoom. So this is
camera's drifting on us.
I'm pretty sure this is a stony coral. It's probably just a very small Enallopsammia, I believe. That would be typical of these depths. Analepsemia can have different morphs like yellow and white. But yeah, this strikes me as Analepsemia. I was in between stylastrid and scleractinian for a while, but tentacles are visible, and the calyces are more, I would say, more scleractinian. Okay, great. We can zoom out and move on.
What lobster? Look at
Did you
that.
want to go down below and look closer at?
No, we got a decent look at them from a distance. I want to try and make our way up a little bit.
All right,
We've got half an hour left on bottom nav-ish.
Yeah, about that.
Okay. More of these branching glass sponges we saw earlier. Sclerothamnus. Bottlebrush chrysogorgia. Probably the most healthiest density of possibly old Enallopsammia we've seen. Like old dead Enallopsammia bases. We haven't seen very much Enallopsammia, although at depths of 1,500 meters and shallower, especially further south, it's one of the most abundant deep sea stony corals. But up here in the North Pacific, it's not as prominent. You can find it usually a little bit shallower though, but that's pretty deep. And let's see, what's our oxygen still doing? Oxygen has been steady at 55 for the last bit.
Come on back towards you now.
Roger.
Steady but low. So that there is a diversity here suggests that the reason why we weren't seeing anything before is probably not oxygen related. It's probably related to flow conditions. There's a substantial amount more particulate matter, just visibly, anecdotally, at this depth. So it's probably helping the corals in that respect, because there might be more food or current available.
Here's another question. Is it possible to tell if a coral is female or male without sampling it?
Negatory.
There you go.
Star.
Yeah.
Is that a sea star on the rock?
Is that a persingid sea star?
It's not a persingid, it's let's see.
Quick zoom in there if you want.
Yep. It's half.
Right.
That's okay. I think we should be able to get to a family with this one. It looks like a Benthopictuid.
Okay.
Yeah.
Another question from chat. Is the next dive location and time already set, or is it still in the works depending on the weather?
Still TBD.
We have to work with that weather window that we have and not get winded out.
It's a cool little canyon here.
Another pancake urchin.
And a crinoid growing up something? Yeah.
Yeah, maybe an old sponge stalk. Maybe some sheet metal down there. Aluminum.
Yeah.
Corrugated aluminum.
More trash.
I really like this terrain.
It's very Tatooine-y.
I like that reference. Nice adjective.
Opposite in the fact that it's all water.
Well, yeah, but you know, just ignore that little fact.
A slight difference.
Not a lot of suns down
Minor.
here.
It's a sunken Tatooine.
Exactly.
Everybody knows Tatooine has massive submarine oceans, or
Yes.
subterranean oceans.
Not a
It's
lot
in
of
the
pod
lore
racing down
itself.
here.
This is pod racing right here.
Can we look at this
Ooh.
sea cucumber?
Yeah, look at
Actually, we
that.
might want to sample that.
Roger.
Is that a sea cucumber? Yeah. Yeah, we're going to want to
Two
sample
of them.
this.
There's
Can we
a second one too.
Can we slurp that sea cucumber?
Sure.
Really quickly, how long is each shift? 4
Did
hours.
the last sea cucumber collection say what it was?
I think Taylor might have taken the sample papers down for sample prep. Actually, no, she didn't. Oh, yep, she did.
Sea cucumber? They slurped one in jar 2.
Yeah. I think she might have taken down the
Your,
papers for
stars
sample prep
already there.
already.
Hello,
okay.
hello Thor maybe?
Yeah, holothurian. No, I was just wondering if they had put down which family it was, or genus.
Okay, Dan.
Okay, well, let's slurp it anyway, because this is the target taxon we're looking for.
Is jar 7 available?
There could be pieces of an enemy in there, but for the most part, yeah.
We can pick a different one.
Okay. 3 through 5 should be open.
Okay. 4.
4.
Hit 5, please.
Coming over.
What was the number of the holothurian?
188.
188.
You'll have to go wide. Can't do this without.
I'm full wide here.
Roger. The backwards camera gets me.
Oh, it was a purple sea cucumber with spines on it.
Okay,
That's an
this is
interesting
probably
grab.
sufficiently different.
Do that again if I try it.
There's a lot of sampling going on this cruise. I think that we might reach a record.
Ooh.
Okay, can zoom in again. Go nice and tight.
Yeah,
How's
we're
that?
almost at 200.
That should do it. Okay.
All right.
75-ish.
7.5.
But on, is it?
Yep.
Oh.
It's hanging on.
Oh.
I don't wanna. Trying to get a kid to go to school.
No.
You know what it kind of looks
Go,
like is those worm creatures from Men in Black.
Oh, I was going to say it looked like a
Oh
churro, but
my
that too.
gosh. Wait, did you say churro?
Yeah.
That's
I
a
don't know where
spiky
you're
churro.
where you're buying
We're
your
at full.
churros, but you may want to reconsider.
Not gonna eat
Come on,
churros
guys.
for a while
Don't your churros also have tentacles?
Nope. Oh no.
Oh.
You can't make me.
He's fine. He's fine at it. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
Yes.
sponge.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful sponge.
Look at that.
Looks like it's crocheted.
Ew.
Yeah, look at that.
Look at all those intricate spicules.
Turn around and look at the goes up tube. Show me the manip again.
And as we wait to see if we can slurp up the sea cucumber, what's the worst weather we've had on the ship? Well, so far we've had like a light windstorm, but that was about it. So it's been surprisingly pretty nice out. We've had a few rain squalls here and there, but nothing too bad.
Show me that. Tilt down a little with the bubble.
Roger.
Cheers. That pig might be stuck.
Well, it's in there somewhere.
It is.
It's not going anywhere. One of the most
Try and
feisty
see if the
sea
thing will go back in its hole.
Suction's still at full beans.
And turn it off for a second.
Roger. 0%.
Roger.
0 beans.
0. No more beans.
Not even
More
one.
beans for you.
Until breakfast.
This is almost breakfast.
I don't know why I can't do this backwards.
It's like trying to steer a bike when the motions are opposite. You know?
Yeah, it's trying to sit on your bicycle backwards. Can't do it. Really? There you go.
There we go.
Nice.
Smooth.
We need to make a note to push the grading back down. It's
Roger.
oops. Trying to scratch myself there. Stop it.
That could be a challenging clog to get rid of.
It could be. I'll keep playing with it.
Then, to answer the question in chat, where'd it go? Hang on.
Yeah.
Oh, how much longer until we have to restart heading to the surface? We have about
Turn the
10 or
suction
so
back on
minutes
there.
Yep, suction coming on.
until we will start our recovery.
7.5.
Yes, Jason, yes it would.
I think we have about 10 more minutes bottom time.
Yeah. Hey,
there it
it
is.
is.
Oh, great.
Got it. Nice one.
Very nice. That saves us some effort on deck later.
Yeah.
All right, switching the cameras over now.
Okay, should rotate the jar.
Yep, thank you.
And to answer the question, no, we are not disrupting the environment.
Not sure yet. Get
Question in chat, have you had any issues with seabirds yet? we have not had any issues with seabirds, and I hope we don't have any issues with them. I'm gonna knock wood right now, but so far so good with our seabird situation.
Looks like a good time to end the dive, I guess. Might be heading up into sediment land.
I can poke around here on the cliff some more.
So while we're poking around, here's a question from chat from a little while ago. So sometimes when we see sea stars, sometimes they look like they're standing, i.e. On two legs, two arms, and a head. But do sea stars actually, like, do their appendages, do they have any other like functions? Like, is one a head, one would be considered arms or legs?
There are fish coming towards you there.
No, they're basically identical.
Wow, look at that thing.
Most of the arms.
It's coming right towards
wow.
that land.
Where is it?
Oh, fish.
Wow. Wow.
That might be an I think that's an oil fish.
Oh, sorry, buddy.
Oil fish?
Oh,
Yeah,
geez.
oil fish.
Shot to that ROV.
Wow.
That's cool.
That was cool.
For those of you watching the live stream, if you go to satellite 2,
that was an oil fish.
or to video.
Turn left and look down a little more.
Roger.
If you go over to video stream 2 and rewind a little bit, you're going to be able to see the fish bumping against Atalanta.
Let's do 20 meters, 315. Can we do, yeah, 20 meters, 315. Yeah, we'll go along that feature for a few minutes here. Must look like it was flat forever up on the top there. You all right with that, Steve?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Nice fracture.
Oh yeah, look at that.
It's right in half.
Smack dab in the middle.
Neato.
Clean fracture. That's not what I wanted at all.
Do you think the oil fish thought that I was food?
Because, you know, Atalanta looks so tasty.
It could just be attracted to the lights or something shiny.
That is true. Atalanta is very shiny. So why are they called oil fish?
That's a good question.
One we don't really know of.
The flesh is extremely oily.
That's it?
Not great.
An oil content of around 25%
Whoa.
Oh my gosh.
by mass.
It's a lot of omegas.
By mass. That's a lot of omegas.
She doesn't seem to be going anywhere yet.
Then to answer that question in chat, how many cameras do you have on Hercules? I believe we only have 4. Dan, am I right in that?
I think it's 7.
7.
Oh.
7 cameras on Hercules.
14 if I had my light.
Then, no, to answer that question in chat, we do not have Taco Tuesdays on the ship.
I wish.
Oh, look, another sea.
I
Is that
miss
another
Mexican
sea
food.
cucumber?
We just had Sunday,
Not
though.
sure what that is.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
true.
Yeah, we used to have something resembling a taco. Haven't had it in a while though.
They're tacos.
It's more like a, I don't know, tortilla filled with
Something.
cheese and meat.
My
And
family
Napolito.
calls those gringo tacos.
Yes.
You Ukrainian tacos.
Yeah. But there's a lot of other good food.
Our cooks
There is.
are Ukrainian, so it's,
I really enjoyed the stuffed peppers the other day.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Might be the
those
best
are
thing
good
we've
stuff.
had
Peppers
yet.
were fantastic, yeah.
Lasagna was really good too.
Lasagna's been great, yeah.
Oh,
Lasagna.
okay, zoom there. Go to the
Absolutely.
hydraulic page and bump the camera down.
Roger.
Polyopodon?
Quick pan and tilt down.
No.
That's good.
Oh,
Damn.
good. I didn't.
Just another glass sponge.
yeah. This is a Euplectillid,
Damn it.
probably in the genus Dictyalis.
Plexaurids. Close, you were close.
Yes, you had that. It was a sponge.
Just trying to look down inside.
I mean, it's
but
also another glass sponge. There's another thing.
Dictyalis has been collected here by the Okeanos Explorer
okay,
in
I can go on.
2017.
But just
Sure. What's our, what's 1200 divided by 15? 80 minutes.
Huh?
Yeah. $80, so that'll put us on the surface at 8:20. Is that right? If we come up now, yeah. Okay. Well, finish coming around the rock and finish this move, and I think that's going to be about it if we want to make 8:30 on deck.
Yeah, that sounds like a plan.
So that'll put us on the surface at 8:20 if we make 15 meters a minute the whole way, which we should be able to do.
For those people in chat asking questions, we will get back to them as soon as Hoku gets back, as I'm currently filling in for her as a data logger at the moment.
Hoku.
Sorry, Kukui.
Kukui.
I listen. It's still early, kind of.
Might get a little tug there.
Yeah, right. Just stretch it out for recovery anyways.
Yep. Swing right.
I think that's it, ladies and gentlemen.
All right.
All right.
Concludes today's festivities.
They're just getting started, isn't it? The 4th of July?
Yeah.
Oh, it is.
Is it?
Yeah.
Happy
Another
birthday,
day on the
America.
boat.
Yeah. What month is it?
What year is it?
Come on.
Okay, start coming up 20 meters a minute to start.
10-4.
How's our rappies and stuff? And all that
Rappies are
stuff?
looking good. Do you want me to turn auto off? Or just come around the right way to get rid of that half a turn?
Come around the right way. to get rid of the half turn.
251st birthday, I think.
Really?
Pretty sure it's...
Yeah, 1776 plus 251 maybe.
Oh, that's wrong.
I think that's 2022.
I'll back up a bit.
246.
Oh,
Thank you.
that was close. Kinda.
Well, almost 250 years.
Oh yeah, it's 40, not 50.
Sure.
And also, fun fact,
Should be
more
far enough
importantly,
around for
in
me
my
to
eyes,
pull it around.
it's my mom's
Roger.
birthday. So, everyone
Oh.
in chat wish her a happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Yay.
Happy birthday, Matt's mom.
Yay!
Let's see what I can do. They've dropped both weights already, did they? I'm not sure what they did.
Looks like there's some hemp there under the DSC.
Can you spin around with bubble and see it?
Yeah.
I think the navigator logged the off bottom, but I don't know if we've done that yet.
See what we can do here.
All right.
Answer that question in chat. When is the next live stream? Whenever our next dive is. And our live streams are usually 24/7.
15 meters a minute.
So the next live stream is always. If that makes any sense.
There will be updates on
Yes.
social media and stuff telling you when we're doing stuff.
So there will be our next dive is we're not entirely sure of when, but if you like to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok now, LinkedIn, all those good social media sites, we'll give you live updates. So
you touch both the boxes.
I'll give you live updates of when our next dive is.
A few times.
Yeah, I can do that. Yeah, sample here hasn't been slipping this dive.
Yeah, Josh bled that.
Doing some curls.
Right.
No, we need to though. Need temperature gauges and LEDs.
Got to limber up every now and again.
Do a quick check of the gauges here. Or not.
We have an issue with the shoulder actuator on this manipulator where the feedback device is embedded in the hollow rod that comes out of the linear actuator that drives the shoulder, and it tends to accumulate some stuff in there that causes the manipulator to get a ground fault. By exercising it like that, it pushes that junk out of there, and it winds up back in the bottom of the reservoir, which it's easier to drain it on deck. Both are the hydraulic pump that runs the suction sampler, the hydraulic motor that runs the suction sampler pump, and also the hydraulic motor that runs the rotisserie for the jars. The seal in them is open to seawater, which is, so that's a dynamic shaft that's spinning with just like a crane seal, ceramic and rubber. Just different than our thrusters. That seal to bearing interface has a separate compensator between the seal and the seawater, which gets mucky. Then we also drain those every time on deck. But so anyways, the little micro amounts of seawater wind their way into the hydraulic system and accumulate in the low spots. One of them being the manipulator.
Yes.
The phase A ground fault on, or meter on Atalanta is back to 47.9 megs.
Yeah. I'm going to do a quick experiment here and turn off all the lights on Herc.
Sure.
I'm going to watch the amp draw there on the
high voltage cabinet.
Yeah, PDU as it's called, the power distribution unit. So in theory,
drops
should come up and they should even out. $37, $36. Yeah, the A phase has been
lower.
Yeah, so I'm going to turn off the lights on Atalanta now.
It's A phase and B phase that run to Atalanta, right?
I'm not sure which phase is which, but...
So Steve, here's a question from chat as we're making our way up.
So with all the lights off, they are within...
Do crinoids have eyes or a light detector sort of structures?
Of what those numbers are in the book there?
No, I don't believe so.
All lights off. And then right down the 3.
However, some ophiuroids... ophiuroids? Some ophiuroids and some sea stars might.
Got it.
Then we have a question for our ROV people up front.
Yeah, give us a second. We're
okay.
Just doing a bad science experiment here. Did you get all those numbers?
Yeah,
did you get the line voltage as well?
Yeah, I can get
486. Okay, I'm going to turn just the... what were the 2 light banks that we lost when we lifted that fuse the other day?
We lost 1 and 3. 4, 5, 6 were functional.
So I'm going to turn on 1 and 3, then we'll record those numbers now. So we can record all 3 numbers again.
Might be good to make a note that they're doing light testing.
Make a note that, only 1 and 3 are on. So the first set of numbers was all lights off?
Testing.
Yeah, light testing.
Light testing.
Oh, it's jumping around on me.
Yeah, the 10th digit, or the first digit there, just first decimal, just take an average.
Yeah.
Okay, you got that?
Yeah, they're within uncertainty.
Okay, so the next one's going to be Atalanta bank 1 and 3 on, same as this one, but then we're going to turn on 4, 5, and 6 as well.
Now, can we do a quick calculation of where our dive ended today versus where we started our dive yesterday? Do we have that data?
Thank you, Lisa.
Let me check.
Okay, ready for that third test there?
Yep.
All Atalanta lights on, but Hercules off. Is that right?
Correct. There is no lights on light bank 2, right?
That's right.
Okay, that's our spare.
You just want a distance, Steve?
Yeah, yeah.
3.8 kilometers.
Okay.
Great. Got it.
Okay, so the last one's going to be with all the lights on.
I didn't plan this table very well for 4 sets of data.
That's all right. As long as you get the data, we'll make a pretty table for the report. This is for our engineer on the beach. We're several of the engineers who have been playing around with the different inverters that supply the 480 volts for Hercules. So there's one in the engine room that's been there for years, and then we have a fancy new one in the aft hold that was installed.
Okay, got it.
When we lengthened non-less, got them all? Great,
yep.
Thanks.
So we got all off, just 1 and 3 on Atalanta, all Atalanta lights, and then all on.
Yeah, so that is the So the light circuits are spread out between the 3 different phases, and there's 3 different transformers, one for each of the phases of the high voltage.
Yeah.
And the light banks are spread across all 3 of those, but we're not sure exactly which lights are on which phase. We think we know from the drawings, so that will ground truth our drawing. And so the aft inverter is a new addition, and we've done some modifications to it to enable it to drive so it's just a stock inverter, commercial inverter. Yep. What's not stock about it is it's powering 7,000 meters of cable through a high voltage transformer. So we've done some mods to make it behave correctly. There's a big inrush when it starts up because the cable's like a big capacitor that has to be charged up before the motor spins.
Yeah.
So basically with all the lights off, it was pretty well, that's where the all 3 phases were closest. They were all lower, right? So
Then to answer that question in chat, I see many birds flying around the ship. Are the birds on Johnston Atoll protected?
1 and 3.
Yes.
Atlanta.
Yes, they are. Is a bird sanctuary.
I'll look at it later.
Is it hundreds of thousands of birds nest there or something?
Something like that.
Thousands of birds?
300,000, I think. Yeah.
Big numbers.
Wow.
Many birds.
It's more than the population of the biggest town near me. 3 times more.
Put the big winch picture up in one of the monitors there.
I can do that.
Don't let me tell you about ants then.
Ants?
Yeah.
Like...
Can I do that one there?
Sure.
Oh, the yellow ants?
Yeah, then they kill over 1 million yellow ants, they said.
The crazy yellow ants, yeah.
They were eating birds somehow.
I think they're shooting formic acid at them.
Oh, right, and blinding them.
Yeah.
God, that's so crazy.
How about winch hold or winch alt?
Formic acid.
Either winch alt or winch hold.
How can they be sure they got every single ant?
They can't.
Sonar, maybe? Could that be a thing? Sonar detection of little bugs? Is that a thing?
I don't know.
That's quite the misrep we got on that.
Apparently there's other ants, but they're not dangerous to the population. Maybe they have specific mounds or something, the yellow ants?
Maybe. Only if we can do an eDNA sample over there.
They went and kicked down all the mounds.
Oh, yeah. Had to.
Can make a note in the log, though, that the camera that's
I
looking
want
at
to
the
say
winch drum needs to be adjusted.
Yvonne said there's 1 endemic species to Johnston.
Of ants?
No, a bird.
Oh, bird? Oh, yeah.
I don't remember what it was, though.
There's also a fish, too. I think that's endemic.
Ooh.
Maldive ant. Native to West Africa.
Wow.
Or Asia.
Which camera are you talking about?
It's crazy to think like all of these organisms
The one that's tilted
traveled all
sideways
the way.
Yeah, I know.
Right
They stole a ride on a boat, basically.
Gotcha.
Or the wind. Or another bird.
I don't know about ants in the wind. That's a nightmare.
It's like an ant storm.
Wow.
Oh my.
That's
we
graphic.
call that one winch store, right?
Oh, that's
What?
that's lovely.
Okay. All right.
Those don't look like
Yeah,
crazy
could
ants.
be
Yellow crazy ants, but I
rotated
guess they are.
clockwise and
Yeah.
tilted
Not
down
very
just a
yellow.
little bit.
Eating a cucaracha. Super colonies. Ants are crazy, man. If you go on like Google Earth and you go to like Death Valley, if you've heard of that, the lowest place in America.
Is that in California?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's right outside Vegas. And you go look, you see like these white mounds everywhere. It's just ant mounds.
What?
Millions of ant mounds.
That's a very large ant mound.
Did you want me to note the Fruit Loops when we did that experiment?
What's that?
The leakage? Was that?
No. Don't care about Fruit Loops. You could note the depth though, 1,000 meters. Oh yeah, sure, sorry.
No problem. All right. Here's questions for the ROV people up front. With 7,000 meters of cable, one would think you'd get transmission line effects when you turn the power on and off. This may lead to reflections that could cause over voltage conditions. Do you ever account for this?
Absolutely, yeah. So the voltage we get from the ship is 50 hertz, and that runs through an inverter that converts it to 60 hertz. So we get I think it's 380, 50 hertz, which is the ship's European generators on here. And then we run that through an inverter that gives us 60 hertz at 400 and something volts. Between, like standard would be 460 or 480 utility voltage in the US, which is where Hercules was built. And we can adjust that voltage up and down, and then that 480 volts runs through a high voltage transformer, so that's bumped up to 2,400 volts. And that transformer has various taps on it, so we can move the taps to adjust the high voltage output. But historically we ran like a 5,000 or 6,000 meter cable on here. That gets a little shorter every year as we re-terminate the main cable. So at the moment we have a new cable, so we started out with 7,500 meters of cable. So the taps we're tapped out basically. We're on the highest tap. And if you adjust the input voltage, the 480 volts input, and then step that up through the high voltage transformer, it's a big, a small adjustment at the 480 volts is a big, has a bigger effect because it's stepped up so far. So what we do is then it's again step back down on Hercules and Atalanta to provide the 110 volt hotel power, as we call it. So what we do is we make small adjustments on that 480 volts, and we monitor or measure the voltage on the ROV at the lights, basically, or at the output of the transformer. So on deck with the motor idling, you get one voltage, and then when you bring the motor up to full load, which by engaging the hydraulic pump, then that drops the voltage down somewhat. And then as we dive, the oil and the temperature of the oil, it gets obviously colder with the down here in the bottom of the ocean, and also the pressure changes the viscosity and characteristics of the oil, so the motor's working even harder, and the oil that's in the motor compensating it, and the hydraulic system. So all those variabilities, there's a happy spot where the voltage is not, the 110 hotel voltage is not too high on deck when it's not loaded, and not too low at depth where we're really working it hard, when we're, using all the thrusters and we have all the lights on and everything's cold and working basically at red line. So there's a balance there that we kind of, all of it's obviously engineered and calculated, but then there's some empirical fine-tuning in the end, which is what we've been doing on this expedition.
Look at the winch line off the main knuckle there on the A-frame.
So really I have a question about kind of vehicle stuff. So at depth, you're on the bottom, it's really cold, ambient temperature. What's the hottest part of the vehicle? What's the warmest part of the vehicle?
The motor, the HPU, typically runs about 50
DC ground fault.
Between 30 and 50 degrees Celsius.
Huh.
That motor's working pretty hard. It's pulling 40 amps at 480 volts.
I'm curious if that radiates any heat that any of the biology would ever pick up on, or if it dissipates quickly.
Yeah, that's a good question. I think most of the motor is certainly designed to be water cooled, so it's we can obviously run it while it's in the water, where we can't run it like that on deck, or it would burn itself up because the heat can't dissipate fast enough through the air. It needs the water cooling. As with most ROVs, they started out with a modified well motor in the early days. And those were, they're long cylindrical motors, so they're meant to be go down a pipe, but they're also meant to be water cooled.
You definitely get like the small layer surrounding the motor to be warmer, but it would take a pretty perfect reverse and descent to move that little bit of warm water towards the starboard bile box. That's what you're thinking. Unless you just mean maybe it's adding warmth to the deep sea that the critters are picking up on as we go by.
I know they definitely, when we're doing submarine cable surveys or pipeline surveys, so the submarine cables, like the big electrical ones, especially around we do quite a few in British Columbia there between the islands, your hometown.
Yep.
And they're obviously warmer because there's a lot of electrical power running through them, and sponges and sea anemones really like them. So you can, where the cable's buried, you can follow the cable because you just follow this line of sponges and sea anemones.
Wow. That's interesting.
It's also a substrate for them to attach to, but you see them sparsely off, around. Like even where it's going through the rocks, they'll be all over the cable.
Wow.
It's got to be a very, very subtle temperature change, but it's just enough to be attractive to them.
You see the ground fault was on and off for the...
Yeah, I saw that. Curious.
So we have another follow-up question for the ROV team.
Can you hit 5?
Yep. If you guys are ready.
Sure.
What is the maximum? What's the maximum temp the ROV can be near for example, on hydrothermic vents?
The maximum temperature?
Yeah.
We've measured 400 something C around the Endeavour vent fields, and I've cooked a few temperature probes there and on the mid-Atlantic ridge. The temp probes that we're using are rated to 400 C, and we've caused them to fail by...
You wouldn't want to stick the motor in the hydrothermal vent.
Oh, no, yeah, we've melted lots of components on several ROVs over the year, attempting to take samples from the hydrothermal vents. Typically, it's, you know, just a few millimeters away from where the vent's actively coming out of the structure is the difference between ambient temperature and several hundred degrees C, but there's a lot of plastic and rubber components on the vehicle, the hoses and bumpers and O-rings and sonar and lights and stuff like that. So
foam.
Yeah, we mostly cook the jewelry in the front of the vehicle, so we've cooked a few of the sonars because they're sticking out front. So a lot of times when we're taking samples, the structures are, you know, 10s to 20 meters tall, and there's lots of hot water coming out of different places. You can't always tell, and we kind of nudged up against them, and especially when we're taking samples with gas tights or majors, which are devices that capture the hydrothermal vent fluid. So it's really challenging to get those into the vent just right. Has, you know, millimeter or two can make a difference whether that's a valid sample for the scientists or not. So sometimes we kind of get a little carried away and park the ROV in a black smoker, basically. So yeah, we've melted the rubber bits on the front, cooked cables and hoses, and the sonar is especially susceptible to that because it's the head of the sonar rotates, so it's in an oil-filled cavity that's has a rubber molded housing around it. And it's obviously a thin rubber, so the sound can penetrate through it. And it's filled with either mineral oil or glycerin, or depending on the manufacturer. And it melts pretty easily. Tragically melts, and all the oil comes out, cooks the head. But the cables and the penetrators are also rubber. And the lights obviously stick out in the front of the vehicle. And so we're parking a lot of times with the bumper into the structure, so you can put a light or a cable right into the smoker. And also the hydrothermal fluid that's escaping is it's caustic. There's different compounds in there that attack I don't know if they're acidic or what, but they attack the plastics and the rubber. A few of the more memorable ones were, besides the sonar, we welded the biobox shut on one vehicle. We had to get a sledgehammer and a chisel to pry it open again. It's made out of polycarbonate, and it just fused it. I couldn't open the lid on deck. It's kind of embarrassing.
Looks like a bit of an awkward wrap on the right shoulder of the drum.
Aft or forward?
Forward. It's in the shadow. It's kind of hard to pick out, but I watched the cable do a little jitter.
Roger.
Yeah, you can kind of see the shadow.
I think you're seeing things.
Yeah, maybe.
Phantom wraps on the drum. Yeah, there is one on the forward side. That's a telegraph from a bad rap we had, either spooling the cable on or during a deep dive. So we haven't gone deep enough to get it out of there. Can you tilt up on Atlantis camera now?
Yes, I can. I got really turned around in the winch room. I meant to say aft when you asked. It seems to tilt fine now. Look at that, super responsive all the way. Oh, a little shaky though. What are we at for depth? 670.
Yeah, it's funny, the tilt up is happier than the... Looks like we're gonna be a little earlier than we...
You wanna slow her down?
No. We're committed now. Our samples are getting one.
Roger.
I prefer to not go down and put my steel-toe boots on. And if I'm coming on watch, I prefer to drink coffee and stand around in my steel-toe boots. But I'm sure they'll come up here and ask, so it's kind of dealer's choice there. Depends on how close we are to the alley.
Now comes the relaxing part of the watch, where it's just a bunch of blue water, not a whole lot going on. People watching on YouTube or at our website, nautiluslive.org, feel free to ask any questions in the chat, and we'll try to answer them.
What's the coolest monster in D&D, Matt?
The coolest monster in Dungeons and Dragons?
Yeah.
Oh.
I like the beholders.
There's a type of beholder called, I believe, maybe it's a demi-lich? Not 100% sure.
Oh yeah, it's where it's a head, right?
But so that's the demi-lich, but there's a lich version of the beholder, where if it reaches a certain power level, or gets cursed by a lich, it becomes just this giant skeletal beholder head with all these floating eyes around it that still possess the same properties as a beholder, but within the whole different new level of power and challenge rating. It goes from like challenge rating 12 to challenge rating like 15 or something like that. I gotta say the most bizarre one, or what do you mean by cool? Do you mean like, because then actually...
You can interpret it however you want.
If we go by cool, then probably an ice dragon's probably the actual coolest thing, temperature-wise, but probably...
Good one.
Beholder Lich. Yes, the Death Tyrant is what it's called.
What's up? Good or bad wrap in the middle? Oh, yeah. Let's stop and take those out. Okay, yeah, pay out. We do.
Oh, big ctenophore.
Right.
Here's a question for ROV people up front. Do the ROVs get pulled up by the ship, or do they fly up? Or both? It looks like there's slack between the two ROVs. I assume that means that Herc's thrusters are active?
That's correct, yeah. Atalanta is obviously hanging on the end of what we call our 6-8. And come pay out a little bit. Yeah. I'll come in real slow there. And Hercules flies up.
Can Hercules also be dragged up? If need be?
Typically we don't do that, but Hercules will float up.
Ah.
I'm gonna hold depth here. Should hold depth. Keep an eye on the delta and the. Let's put a little forward jam in here. I might have to change over to auto. Yeah, that's not gonna work. just gonna pop down and grab where I can do a level line correction, because we don't have that here.
Roger that.
Should be okay here. I'll grab our radio.
Okay. Is there a radio up here? Roger. Yep. Gotcha. I have it on. Thank you. We got a odd wrap on the 6/8 on the winch. So he's going to try and correct the level line, that little finger-looking claw at the bottom of that feeds the cable onto the winch. Might just have gotten, it's like it works mechanically, so it could have gotten messed up and now it thinks it's in the wrong spot. Yep.
Are you pausing the ascent?
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry,
make a note of that in the event log.
Just gotta. It might be sitting on, yeah, perhaps.
Can I answer that question in chat? What is your favorite thing that you've seen on any expedition? I mean, for me, the Chaunacops is probably one of my favorites. It's pretty cool. It's a little derpy looking. It's probably got to be my favorite thing. Brandon, you got one? What are your favorite things?
I like the carrier crab, the one that was carrying the anemone.
That was cool.
Oh, yeah.
I think the sharks are pretty sweet, but I still love that Tina-4, the red one at the beginning that had like the green bright iridescence.
Yeah, that one made it into YouTube, I think.
That was like a glowing grape. That was neat.
Glowing grape.
That Dumbo octopus was cool too.
It was cool. It was very little.
Yeah.
Itty bitty little Dumbo one.
I didn't think they were that small.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, they're quite petite.
Still waiting on that 6-scale shark though. At least on our watch.
We got one on the way up.
On our watch?
Like, yeah, we got like a glimpse of one.
Oh, and yeah.
It wasn't pretty.
Yeah.
Which is weird because we're the only watch that hasn't seen a shark. And the moment we thought we saw one, it turned out just to be another tripod fish. I blame Kevin.
Somehow when Dan fixed that, he was able to... Yep. Yeah, all good. Am I good to winch in? Roger. He was able to get the delta down to almost 0 meters without even seeing the depth of either vehicle. Not bad, Dan.
Answering that question, chat. How are your biological samples stored when they get to topside? And for Malin, are corals stored differently than say sea stars or cucumbers? Mainly, I think primarily we store our samples in ethanol and a little bit of formalin sometimes.
Yeah, if it's appropriate, but we haven't done any formalin preservation this cruise yet.
And corals are stored a little differently than our sea cucumbers and sea stars. Our sea stars and sea cucumbers are put into jars, versus our corals, I believe, are put into bags.
Bags or jars, whatever is going to be most helpful. Sometimes for fragile things, we'll use jars or tubes so they don't get crushed, but for the more robust things, they'll just go into bags usually. It's temporary. When they get shipped to the museum, they'll get put into probably glass or plastic containers for long-term storage.
Yeah, more sturdy. There it is.
Steve, do we opt not to use formalin just because it is ethanol a little nicer on specimens, or?
No, we'll use formalin maybe if we get some of those anemones we slurped up.
Yeah.
Only because it'll harden the tissues a little bit. It'll make it a little bit easier to work on.
Oh, okay.
But it's only for gelatinous things.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, or where it's necessary for the taxonomy, like anemones, for example.
Right.
But we take input on preservation from science ashore, scientist community more broadly. So it's all based on really sound input from taxonomic specialists.
Mm-hmm. Got it.
I didn't hear you. Coming up faster. Matching delta.
All right. Resuming ascent. Did we write that in? Yeah.
Hey, look, we're on time now. Yeah, it's always nice to have a little on the bank for unforeseen. I think we can start. We got enough room this time to start streaming. Yeah, let's go. Not where we usually start, 500. Yeah. We can start where it'll take a while for it to.
Answering the question in chat, the ROVs do not have hydrophone, or they do not record sound. The ROV is a little, if we did have the hydrophones, it would be a little too loud to actually pick up anything. We're just coming up here on a watch change with Team You're Muted coming up to give us relief and gonna be handling the rest of the dive recovery. Hey.
Oh.
Hello.
Good morning.
SPL check, 1, 2, check, check, check.
Some real math going on this page. Tan theta equals something.
Yeah, Josh, if you could see a rock anywhere.
Let's toss one over the boat and I'll see if I can catch it.
That's the new challenge.
So what do they have the boat moving at? Just moving ahead kind of thing?
Yeah, 0.3.
0.3.
The wind and current seem to be coming from relatively ahead, which is good.
Yeah, a little bit to port, I guess.
But our heading's here, so.
Yeah, they like to split the
Yeah.
difference.
Yeah.
I mean, if the wind and waves aren't too bad, I prefer to face the boat more into the current, but it depends on the wind direction.
Groundfall just doesn't seem to like you.
Yeah, they like to be squeezed. When sometimes there's a groundfall in a connector, the pressure squeezes the connection, makes it tighter, better.
Oh, and that's why it works.
And then when you start coming up.
Huh, interesting.
So
so is it like just adjusting to the new
well,
pressure?
there's not as pressure on it, so if there's it's not quite seated right, or one of the wet mateable holes is maybe a little out around, as the pressure comes off, it can let a bit of water in there.
Cool.
So a lot of times when you have some of these little ground faults near the surface, they go away when you go deeper because they just get all squeezed and the connections get better, tighter.
That's really interesting. I had no idea. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what they're hoping. May have to do a little mapping there too. Yeah, probably not.
I guess you have to slow down, it looks like.
We're coming up fast. Coming down to 15.
Great.
I can put a little bit of the cheater on, see if I can get some more. But people, what time is it? They want to have breakfast and stuff, so I don't need to come too fast.
Copy.
I'll try and catch up.
I'll slow it down.
I got up too late for breakfast and just shoved cereal in my mouth, and then I was like, oh.
No Oreos for breakfast?
No Oreos for breakfast.
No, it's recess for breakfast.
Oh gosh, that would be really intense.
Oh, you never had Reese's Puffs?
Oh my gosh, I don't know if I've ever had a Reese's Puffs. I've seen Reese's Puffs.
He was walking down the aisle.
Sounds awful.
It's pretty good.
If I eat really sugary stuff for breakfast,
It's just like just Cocoa Puffs and Captain Crunch peanut butter.
Is that even food?
Huh?
Bridge nap.
I mean, it's I mean, technically.
Can we secure tanks, enable air tuggers, and ask if the captain is on the bridge?
Nutritional is another different.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I guess maybe no. I think it might be classified as a food product.
What?
Like most cereals.
I don't like the sugary cereals because they make me feel so terrible.
Yeah, I stopped a long time ago.
No, you like them for like a moment.
Yeah.
All right. Well, all right. Aloha kakahiaka. Awinala ahiahi. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to folks out there watching us. This is our blue water ascent. You're with the You're Muted crew. We're currently sitting at 287 meters, coming up to the surface. We've got about 22 minutes before we reach the surface. We're at about 12 meters per mile in velocity. And yeah. Aloha kakahiaka.
Meters per minute.
Thank you. Meters per minute. 13 meters per minute.
It's early. We're still waking up.
More coffee, Hoku. More coffee. Wait until after watch to celebrate the 4th. Oh yeah. To do what? Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm just going to leave the Doppler off.
Oops, I moved it. I pushed a button. Oh, no, I didn't.
So I saw a pile of squid up near the tepid tub this morning, and I couldn't figure out who put it there or what put it there.
That's where I left those. Oh,
Did the birdies barf?
Yeah,
I think jump up there.
I think a bird lost its lunch.
Yeah.
Oh. They did come back.
How high can they jump?
The
Up to the
birds?
tepid top.
Squid.
Oh, boy. Can they jump on the boat?
Squids can jump. I don't think they can jump that high.
Drew found one on the boat the other day.
They could probably make it onto the lower
they
deck.
made it onto the out deck before.
Oh, okay, wow.
Yeah.
It's pretty high up
Little
still.
jumpers.
I don't know why they would want to do that.
I know, I was wondering why.
Like, I'm just going to jump on this ship.
Yeah, the ones I saw on deck tasted a little different.
Oh.
Wait, tasted? Wait, what?
Who is not used to being on shift with Rob?
Rob the rock dock. I'm so confused.
Me too, I'm just waking up. It's all blur.
I didn't taste them.
Okay, okay.
You did taste it?
Not yet.
Per se.
How do you think they get the squid that we eat for lunch
Yes.
We have squid at lunch?
in the past?
What? I never. Dang. I was wondering that.
All right, we got a question coming in. What's some of your ideas for the next expedition? Like the one after Johnston's or the, I'm gonna open it up. What are we gonna do for the next expedition?
I'm not going on the next one.
I think they're
Me neither.
mapping.
Yeah, the next
on the
expedition
one.
is mapping with
Yeah.
the ship and then some shallow water mapping with Drix.
Ooh, nice.
autonomous vehicle.
Ooh.
And where will your next expedition be? In Papahanaumoku?
I think I think it's Papahanaumoku. Yeah.
Nice. All right, we got about 15 minutes until we reach the top. I can throw out our deep water question for a series if we want to. Did we answer it last night? If we had the Nautilus for 30 days, where would we go? That was the deep water shell question.
Ooh, the Mariana Trench.
You would? The
Yeah.
Mariana Trench? Okay.
We wouldn't see too much, I don't think.
Yeah. Couldn't really go into the trench.
Where would I go? I don't know yet.
Away. Just like
far,
away.
far away.
I'd like to go back to the Galapagos. I think that was pretty
yeah.
awesome. I went there for a month once on the Nautilus. It was super fun.
Yeah, it sounds awesome. That's
if I had the Nautilus for the month, I would put some canoes on it and then go somewhere in the South Pacific and paddle around and use the canoes and the ship.
Oh, like Tahiti?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Oh my gosh.
Just on the backside of Teahupo'o, if we could do it.
Oh my gosh.
And drop the canoes in and just paddle and start surfing. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh my gosh. I'll watch. I'll be the escort boat.
Right, me too, on the outside of the break.
Oh gosh.
That's like one of my favorite surf breaks ever to watch. People ride. I always worry about them if they face plant on the reef though.
Oh, it's gnarly out there. It's really interesting to look at the topography over there because like how it shapes its waves. It's a very, very shallow place.
It is, it's
and
super shallow.
Yeah. And it forms like this thick tsunami-like wave.
Right? So, and the
like
lip of the wave is
water.
like super thick. It's a beautiful wave though.
Where is this at?
Tahiti.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That's like my mish, is to get my kids to Tahiti so they can surf that wave.
Is that on
I
the
could
South
watch them.
South Shore?
I don't know where it's at.
I remember when I was in Tahiti driving around the island to the south and just seeing people quite a ways out.
Yeah, that
really
might be
surfing,
it.
and it was.
Yeah, it has like those tall, like they put in the
It's like water towers.
Like water towers
okay.
or judges stands or something. It's super on the inside of the shallow parts of the reef. I spelled it wrong.
Yeah, it is on the south side.
Southwest.
Yeah, we were watching that one day.
Oh yeah, look at that. Oh my gosh, so pretty. I think I could watch surfing and paddling forever, and basketball.
At the same
Those are the
time?
sports I could watch.
At the same time?
Sometimes.
Surfing, basketball?
It depends on my mood.
Oh, he's
how many
pretty
TVs
Yeah,
I have.
surfing while paddling.
And then
basketball.
And then play basketball
it's a new
while
sport.
paddling.
It's a new basket water ball.
Yeah.
That is the Olympic sports now. It's part of the motto.
What is that?
What?
Those sparkling things on, I think it's Atlanta's camera.
Yeah.
Oh.
It might just...
Sparkly.
Oh my god, I was sent to space.
Yeah, it looks like stars, huh?
Oh, I wonder if they're fluorescent or just the angle of the light.
Yeah, I was wondering if it was just them going in and out of the light, or...
It's most likely the angle, because I'm like facing pretty forward.
I never saw that before.
But
Oh, you can see some bright blue things. Those might be
Right, what is
copepods.
that?
Ooh.
There are some like really electric blue
pretty.
copepods
Yeah, I
you
see
get
them
at the
there,
surface.
Dang. And where are we at
Yeah,
now?
I think that's what you're seeing, the blue copepods.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's something shiny and the light reflecting.
I should have asked Taylor Ann this, but has anybody studied
Go
deep
ahead.
water? Well, this isn't deep water plankton. Mesophotic plankton, or like
Thank you.
these guys in this area?
Yeah, I think there's been some surveys.
Yeah. I'm just super curious.
We're in the photic zone now.
Right? I had to
Should
go
tell
test
everyone to
myself
share
on that
radiograms?
the other day.
What's that?
Should I tell
Because
everyone
my
to share
photic zone is
radiograms?
way deeper than your photic
yeah.
zone.
Yeah, we're good. Yeah.
Deck bridge, this is nav, switching to radio comms. That was loud. What did he say?
British Roger. Everyone's saying yes.
Thank you. Just blasted my ear with sound.
Instead of blinding you with science.
Yeah.
It's funny, I'm getting this current is pushing me to the starboard side of the boat, but the current on the surface, according to the DP, says it will push me to the port side of the boat. So probably a different layer here.
That's
so if you're planning right, it should be right in the middle.
Yeah, I'm actually trying to lateral that way right now. It's not really working.
Let me slow down.
Yeah, maybe just a touch, yeah.
All right, we have a random question in the chat when everybody's ready. Has the Nautilus ever crossed the equator, and do you celebrate that?
That's crossed many times.
Oh, wow.
Cool. And yes, it was celebrated each time.
What did you do to celebrate?
Well, I mean, until you become a shellback, we really can't tell you.
What does that mean?
It's a secret ceremony.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. You have to get...
We all just a bunch of pollywogs.
Yep.
You don't jump around and clap and do jumping jacks and dance with each other and get jiggy with it?
You're pollywog?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
You get jiggy with it, Michael?
All your other travels, you wouldn't have made it over.
We almost did, but then...
they almost got jiggy with it.
The mission comes first.
Right.
Needless to say, I was pretty bummed. We had one time they came around, so just we can go look at it.
There it is. There's that line. There's a line like right there, whoosh, across the top of the ocean.
A sign.
Sign.
So
welcome to South.
Now entering Southern Hemisphere.
Yeah.
Population.
Where did you guys go in the Southern Hemisphere?
When I was on board, we were in the Galapagos.
Oh, yeah, I go to Galapagos.
And then we would cross. We were going to a dive area that was on the other side of the equator, and then we go back to port, across the equator, then go back to the dive site, across the equator.
Oh, so you did.
Back and forth.
That's funny.
Every time.
Did you see any iguanas at the Galapagos?
I did.
You did?
Yes. Not with the RV, but
oh,
my own eyeballs.
That's an interesting larva fish.
It was a fish.
Not it is a fish.
Yeah, there's a little subsurface one that was pushing me that way, but now I'm heading to port.
Do fishes have swimming larval stages?
What?
Do fishes have swimming larval stages?
Yeah. So when they're really small, they are planktonic, and they're not able to swim against the current, and then they reach a stage called flexion, where basically certain muscles develop in their tail, and they're actually able to swim against current.
So like this one?
Yeah.
Nice. What is that word again?
Flexion, Flexion. You don't need to put that in the notes, but
too late.
I don't know. I think it's important. That's just me.
Aw, we got 2.
On there. Oh.
Yeah, Cameralis photobombus. Yeah.
Oh.
Whoa.
What are you?
A ribbon in the wind.
I don't know what that
It's got
is.
something in the
What
middle.
is that?
Oh, I think it's a eel larvae. Leptocephalus.
Eel larvae?
Let me show you.
Yeah.
What? That's
Whoa,
trippy.
trick.
There are these like glass eels that get really big, even though they're still larvae.
Oh.
Oh,
Trippy.
Like that.
interesting.
I pulled some up that were maybe 20 centimeters long.
Wow.
So it's just the larvae, or is it like?
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
But it will grow up to be an eel.
Oh.
They're funny. They have really tiny little heads. Comparison to their
gosh.
body. They're called glass eels.
Oh, look at
Wow.
That's really
Is
cool.
that its little eye right there, the white dot?
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
wondering.
little tiny face.
Oh my gosh. That's crazy.
Huh. Okay.
All right, we have about
A pressure thing.
3 minutes before we reach the top.
Could be. Yeah. We got a few things to look at with that. That's fun.
Oh, coming up fast.
Oh yeah, there's 2 of them. The little fishies.
Approaching 50.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
there's
might
3.
have to do a little
One fish,
maneuvering
two
maybe,
fish, three
if I
fish.
can. I don't know.
Yeah.
See.
Dr. Seuss would love this.
Oh,
One fish, 2 fish, 3 fish.
Oh,
glass
that
eel
was my
larvae.
favorite Dr. Seuss pick. Red fish, blue fish,
Yeah, I mean, if it could face a little more into the current, depending on the wind and swell, that would be nice.
and go dog go.
Yep, go dog go for sure.
Love go dog go. Do you like my hat? No, I do
Yeah.
not like your hat.
Oh. I like the Grinch. Okay.
Bridge, can we change the track to 090?
090, okay.
Oh, there they are again.
I'll stop.
Okay.
Should tell the deck that we're at 50 meters.
A lot of dirt particles coming off here. Yeah. Plugged in.
Yeah. It's a lot of sand.
I could try and turn and fly over there, but... What's that? Sorry? We can hand over. I'm not ready to come up yet, though. I mean, I could try and turn and fly that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Control winch, are we standing by or can I come up?
Standing by?
Yep.
We're standing by.
We're standing by.
Yeah. Well, it's good for I can see my tether. It looks
Oh,
really
wow.
close there, but it's actually not.
There you go.
Well, now it wants to work.
You can let them know that I'll probably end up coming a little bit on the port side.
The deck.
Yeah.
Deck, we will be coming up slightly to the port side.
Okay, we can start coming up.
And we're ready to start winching up.
Yeah, that's what I saw. I saw a little thing in the middle.
Oh, I missed that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Control deck, am I on standby?
So it's good to get their attention first. So we call the deck. So deck control van, then you hear from them, and then you ask. Because if you do it all in one sentence, then you never really know if they like heard you or not.
Okay. But.
So deck control van.
Deck control van.
Are we standing by for something up there?
You're clear to start winching up.
You're clear to start winching up.
Roger, bridge deck, we're gonna go ahead and recover ROV.
Okay, Roger, you can proceed.
Because if you don't get that, if you don't get them first, oftentimes they're not going to hear what you ask if you just talk to them.
Gotcha.
So, because if you get their attention, then they'll put the radio up to their ear, or like it might be loud or whatever.
It also takes just a little bit for the transmitter to kick in.
Yeah.
And so you press the key, pause half a beat, then say what you're going to say.
Oh no, we have to take a wrap.
Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Don't worry about it. That's the third time they've handed over a wrap to us in a row. You have to talk to Dan about that.
Interesting stringy thingy on the Niskin there.
Stringy thingy? Oh.
Yeah, we're definitely going to be a port side.
Has that been there the whole time?
I just noticed it. I haven't really been looking at it.
I don't know.
Something we picked up on the surface here.
Control room winch, I'm just gonna go slow over the weirdness in the drum here.
Roger that. What's that?
Yeah.
The grabby sticks are ready.
Is that the technical term for it? Like rabbit sticks.
But it's still reduced to us 25 and stuff.
Yeah, we can take a look at the wash right there. It looks like because it's fighting, it's coming off of this side, so it's not really going to affect that lambda too much. So I think we're probably okay as is.
Okay.
Nautilus on Atalanta. She is seen.
Oh, cool.
Quite proud of the ship. So.
Yeah.
It's kind of right on the
There we are, officially retrieving the ROVs. Yeah, the shoe cam.
About to cut it.
What's that?
Oh,
we're going to have to give him...
Yeah, you can start powering
We're going to have to get him some new shoes. All right, everyone, thank you for joining us. We look forward to the next... what are we doing next? We look forward to the next time we spend time with you. Mahalo nui, ahui ho.
So would you hold now in this case, or you just want to keep?
It's up to you how much you're feeling the tug. I mean, he's happy position-wise. I think if we hold, he'll come a little more to port.
Yeah.
So it's kind of up to you.
Which is fine, all right? It's because I'm going full reverse to try and stop the snapping on the tether now, and that's what I'm fighting. Like I'm fighting the ship movement.
Probably. So we could.
So why don't we hold?
Okay.
There'll
Bridge
be less
control
wash, hopefully, as well.
Go ahead.
We can hold position.
Okay, Roger. Hold position. Holding.
Pardon me? No. No. Yeah, it's just how it's landed on deck, and it tends to slide that way with the motion of the ship and the angle of the camber. So, yeah, it's nothing to do with the wrap. No, one wrap is not a big deal.